Captain Blux straightened his ceremonial tentacles and adjusted the hover projector one final time. "Everything must be perfect," he muttered to his assistant, Officer Krill, whose translucent membrane flickered with nervous energy. The Grand Galactic Council chamber loomed before them, its crystalline walls stretching up into the artificial atmosphere of Space Station Omega-9. "Sir," whispered Krill, his voice bubbling through his speech glands, "the Council members are arriving. All 17 species are represented today. Excellent, more witnesses to our triumph." Blux's outer skin shifted to a confident shade of purple. After 30 cycles of planning, he would finally present his masterpiece, the ultimate prison planet. No more escaped convicts, no more rehabilitation programs, no more bleeding heart activists demanding humane conditions, whatever that meant. The council members filed in, each species taking their designated environmental chambers. The methane breathers huffed into their gaseous pods. The silicon-based collective crystallized into their observation matrix. The hive mind of Betelgeuse sent their usual 1,000-drone representative, which always gave Blux a headache trying to focus on which part was actually speaking. High Chancellor Vorgs, a towering mass of tentacles and wisdom, settled into the central position. "Captain Blux," their voice resonated through the translation field, "you claim to have solved our sector's most pressing criminal containment issue?" "Indeed, most exalted one." Blux slithered forward, his tentacles dancing across the hover projector controls. "Behold, Project Impossible!" The chamber darkened as a holographic planet materialized above them. A beautiful death trap, if Blux did say so himself. "We purchased this Class 13 planet from the Void Merchants, previously deemed too hostile for colonization by any known species." Blux could barely contain his glee as he highlighted the surface features. "Average surface temperature 320 degrees Kelvin, gravity 1.1 standard units. Atmosphere mostly nitrogen and oxygen with delightful traces of naturally occurring toxins." The council members writhed appreciatively. The methane breathers released impressed bubbles. "But wait," Blux continued, his skin now pulsing with excitement. "Witness the true genius. We've enhanced the natural predator population, engineered the plant life to be mildly poisonous, and scattered the most dangerous minerals across the surface. The oceans, teeming with aggressive aquatic life, the continents, crawling with venomous creatures." Officer Krill advanced to the next slide, showing the defense systems. "We've established a minimal orbital monitoring network, though hardly necessary. Any escapee would need to somehow survive the planet itself, develop advanced spacefaring technology, and avoid the automated defense platforms. The beauty is, we barely needed to add security measures. The planet itself is the prison." High Chancellor Vork's tentacles curled thoughtfully. "Impressive. But surely this facility requires a massive staff?" "That's the brilliant part." Blux felt his promotion practically tentacle lengths away. "It's entirely self-sustaining. We drop the prisoners off and let nature do our job for us. No guard salaries, no maintenance costs, no risky staff-prisoner interactions. The survival rate calculations suggest most inmates will last approximately 3 solar cycles, after which the problem solves itself." The silicon-based collective chimed in with a harmonious query. "What species have you determined this suitable for?" "Ah!" Blux's skin rippled with pride. "We've acquired a test population from a newly discovered primitive world. They call themselves humans, barely achieved crude spaceflight. Their criminals seemed perfect for our trial run, soft-skinned, environmentally dependent, and absolutely no natural defenses. We're scheduled to begin transfers next week." The council chambers filled with appreciative murmurs and the occasional methane burst of approval. High Chancellor Vorks raised their primary appendage. "Very well, Captain Blux. You have the Council's permission to proceed with Project Impossible, though perhaps we should name it something less tempting to fate." "Thank you, most exalted one, but I assure you there's nothing fateful about it. This is the perfect prison planet. What could possibly go wrong?" Officer Krill's membrane flickered anxiously at those words, but Blux was too busy accepting congratulations to notice. After all, he'd thought of everything. These humans wouldn't last a planetary rotation, let alone figure out how to escape. He couldn't have been more wrong. Official report, Project Impossible, classification ultra-restricted, author Captain Blux, date 47th cycle, 9th revolution. Computer, begin recording supplementary documentation. The gentle hum of the quantum recorder filled Captain Blux's private chamber as he began pacing, his tentacles swishing with professional pride. The observation window before him displayed their masterpiece, a gorgeous purple-tinted death trap of a planet rotating serenely below Space Station Omega 9. Section 1, Environmental Hazards, where do I even begin? Blux chuckled, his skin rippling with smug satisfaction. Let's start with the basics. The planet's crust consists of highly unstable tectonic plates. We've counted 27 major ones, all constantly grinding against each other like a Vauxian toothbeast with a mouth infection. This results in approximately 47 earthquakes per planetary rotation, ranging from mildly uncomfortable to absolutely catastrophic. He paused to sip his nutrient solution through his secondary feeding tube. The volcanic activity is, quite frankly, breathtaking. We've documented over 300 active volcanoes, with at least 50 erupting at any given time. The ash clouds alone would make most species cry for their spawning pools. Computer, display meteorological data. A holographic weather map materialized, showing swirling patterns of chaos across the planet's surface. The atmosphere. Oh, the atmosphere is a work of art. The combination of extreme temperature differentials and the planet's rapid rotation creates storm systems that would make a Jupiterian blush. We're talking wind speeds of up to 500 units per time segment. And the best part? These storms can form with almost no warning. Blux slithered closer to the window, his eyes gleaming. The wildlife. Now that's where we really outdid ourselves. We started with the planet's existing ecosystem, already impressively lethal, and made some, shall we say, enhancements. The airborne predators can lift prey 3 times their body weight. The ground-based hunters have developed toxins that can paralyze victims in seconds. Even the herbivores are aggressive. We found this delightful 6-legged grazing beast and amplified its territorial instincts. It now charges at anything that moves within a kilometer radius. Section 2, Defense Systems, Blux continued, pulling up another holographic display. Though hardly necessary, we've implemented what I like to call our belts and suspenders approach. The outer orbit holds a network of automated defense platforms, old surplus units from the Rigelian conflicts. They're programmed to vaporize any unauthorized vessels larger than a personal transport. Not that our inmates could ever construct something that sophisticated. The upper atmosphere is seeded with microscopic monitoring drones. They look like natural precipitation to primitive scanning technology. These little beauties track movement patterns and biodiversity changes, allowing us to monitor population levels without maintaining an expensive ground presence. His tentacles danced across the control panel, bringing up the ground defense grid. On the surface, we've scattered what appear to be natural rock formations. In reality, they're quantum-locked stasis generators. If any large group of prisoners start showing signs of technological advancement, zap, they'll find themselves in a localized time dilation field. They'll experience one day while the outside world experiences a year. Very discouraging to any would-be civilization builders. But my personal favorite, Blux's skin turned a deep purple with pride, is the biological deterrent. We've engineered the local insect population to be attracted to any artificial structures more complex than a simple shelter. Attempt to build anything resembling technology? Swarms of flying pests will dismantle it within days. Elegant, if I do say so myself. Computer, begin Section 3, Survival Analysis. A series of graphs appeared showing steadily declining population projections. Based on our most optimistic models, we expect a 95% reduction in inmate numbers within the first planetary cycle. The combination of environmental hazards, predation, and simple resource scarcity should prove insurmountable. The remaining 5%, they'll be too busy trying to survive to cause any trouble. We've even established what we call natural containment zones. The habitable areas are surrounded by vast stretches of particularly nasty terrain, expansive deserts, frozen wastelands, and my personal favorite, a continent-sized stretch of terrain where literally everything is poisonous. The plants secrete toxins, the soil contains harmful minerals, even the morning dew can cause severe reactions. It's basically a moat made of death. Blux settled back into his hovering observation chair, allowing himself a moment of pure satisfaction. In conclusion, we've created not just a prison, but an entire ecosystem dedicated to making life impossible for our inmates. These humans, with their pathetically fragile bodies and complete lack of natural defenses, won't stand a chance. They can't survive the heat, they have no resistance to toxins, and their physical capabilities are laughably limited. I almost feel bad for them. Almost. Computer, final notation. I predict this facility will become the standard by which all future correctional institutions are judged. The perfect prison doesn't need walls when the entire planet is dedicated to containing and eliminating its prisoners. End recording. As the quantum recorder powered down, Blux watched the first transport ship begin its descent through the atmosphere. Far below, a massive storm system was brewing, almost as if the planet itself was preparing to welcome its new inhabitants. "Welcome to your new home, humans," he murmured, his skin flickering with amusement. "Do try to die quickly. It's easier on the paperwork." Little did Captain Blux know he'd just created humanity's greatest adventure park. Private log entry #47, security clearance Gamma, recording officer Lieutenant Zax. Location, prisoner processing station, orbital platform Delta. "Did you see that one? It only has 2 legs. How does it even balance?" Officer Krill bubbled nervously through his speech glands as another group of humans shuffled through the processing chamber. Captain Blux's skin rippled with barely contained amusement. Primitive bipedal locomotion, just one of their many charming limitations. He hovered closer to the observation window, watching the latest batch of Earth's criminals being prepared for transfer. The processing chamber below was a circus of activity. Humans of various sizes, all wrapped in standard-issue environmental suits, were being herded through decontamination fields by hovering guard drones. Some looked scared, others defiant, and a few, worryingly few in Blux's opinion, seemed appropriately terrified. "Prisoner manifest, please," Blux commanded. A holographic display materialized, showing the details of their first test population. "Fascinating selection," he mused, scrolling through the data. "Bank robbers, computer criminals, whatever those are, and something called extreme sports enthusiasts who apparently broke into high-security areas for entertainment. Perfect test subjects for our little experiment." A commotion below drew their attention. One of the humans, a muscular specimen with facial decorations, tattoos according to the xenological report, was gesturing animatedly at the environmental suit dispenser. "What seems to be the problem?" Blux asked through the translator. "G'day, mate," the human called up, his voice rendered in perfect galactic standard by the translation field. "Any chance of getting this suit in a larger size? Bit tight around the shoulders, yeah?" Blux's skin flickered in confusion. The human's tone was almost cheerful. "You do understand you're being sentenced to Project Impossible, yes? The prison planet?" "Oh yeah, beauty of a setup you got there." The human grinned, a disturbing display of bone-white teeth that made Officer Krill's membrane quiver. "Saw it through the viewport during descent. Reminds me of home, actually. You lot ever been to a place called Australia?" Before Blux could respond, another human, this one smaller but with impressively bright artificial hair coloring, chimed in. "Hey, those volcanoes down there active? Because I've always wanted to try volcano boarding." "Volcano boarding?" Officer Krill's translation gland nearly seized up at the concept. "Yeah, you know, riding down the side of an active volcano on a reinforced board. Used to be illegal back home, but I'm guessing that's not an issue here, right?" The human's eyes sparkled with an unsettling enthusiasm. Captain Blux's skin turned a concerned shade of green. "Officer Krill, make a note, add volcano boarding to the list of prohibited activities. Not that they'll survive long enough to attempt it," he added quickly. The processing continued throughout the day. Each new group of humans brought fresh surprises and growing unease among the alien staff. A cluster of what the manifest identified as adrenaline junkies spent their entire processing time discussing something called wingsuit opportunities, after spotting the planet's massive cliff formations. Two former security specialists got into an animated debate about whether the predator-rich valleys would make better hunting grounds or racing courses. A group of engineering criminals couldn't stop talking about the perfect conditions for something called dune buggy modifications. "Captain," Officer Krill whispered during a brief lull in processing, "is it normal for prisoners to look so excited about their punishment?" Blux's skin had been stuck in a mottled pattern of concern for the past hour. "Clearly a coping mechanism," he declared, with more confidence than he felt. "They'll change their tune when they experience their first Category 7 storm, or meet one of our enhanced predators." The final group of the day included a weather scientist who'd apparently been arrested for chasing dangerous storm systems. She took one look at the planet's atmospheric data and actually applauded. "Those wind speeds are incredible," she exclaimed. "The storm formation patterns, the unpredictability factor, it's perfect. Hey, anyone else here interested in extreme meteorology?" At least 15 hands shot up among the gathered prisoners. As the last humans were loaded onto the transfer shuttles, Captain Blux retreated to his private office, his tentacles twitching with suppressed worry. "Computer, access Earth historical records. Search term, Australia." The results made his primary heart skip a beat. Images of a continent filled with lethal creatures, harsh conditions and extreme environments flashed across his screen, and there, in image after image, were humans not just surviving but actively seeking out the most dangerous aspects of their deadly home. Computer, new search, extreme sports, Earth. The resulting footage caused his secondary heart to stop as well. Humans jumping off cliffs, diving into caves, fighting predators, sailing through storms, climbing frozen mountains, crossing deserts. "Officer Krill," Blux called out, his voice higher than usual. "Contact the science division. I want to know everything about human adaptability and risk assessment. And perhaps we should delay the next prisoner transfer until—" His voice trailed off as the first batch of surface images came in from the monitoring drones. The initial group of humans had already established a base camp, in the middle of a lightning field. They appeared to be using the electrical discharges to power some kind of makeshift recreation area. Was that human grilling food in the middle of a storm? And why were so many of them smiling? "Sir?" Krill's membrane was practically transparent with anxiety. "The latest human transport is requesting permission to begin descent. They're asking if we could drop them near the really big volcano. Something about prime surfing conditions in the lava flows?" Captain Blux's skin turned a color that hadn't been seen in his species for 7 generations. "Surfing in lava." Far below, on the planet's surface, the first human settlement was taking shape. Someone had already put up a sign. "Welcome to Australia 2.0, where everything's trying to kill you, but the views are amazing." And beneath it in slightly smaller letters, "Tourist season opening soon, extreme sports enthusiasts welcome." Blux stared at the image for a long moment before turning to his assistant. "Officer Krill, please tell me we didn't just accidentally create a human adventure park." A cheer erupted from the processing chamber as another group of humans caught their first glimpse of the planet. "I believe, sir," Krill said carefully, "that's exactly what we did." "Well, Shasterisk T," said Blux, using a human expression he'd picked up during processing. It seemed appropriate. "Breaking news transmission, Galactic Tourism Network, and special report, Prison Planet becomes Galaxy's hottest vacation spot. Welcome to GTN's special coverage. I'm your host, ZyLP, broadcasting live from what was once Project Impossible, now officially rebranded as Australia 2.0, the ultimate adventure resort. Please note our production team has signed 17 different liability waivers just to bring you this report." The hovering camera drone followed the reporter as they navigated through what could only be described as organized chaos. Behind them, a group of Andromedans were being fitted with protective gear for something called volcano bungee jumping. As you can see, XILP continued, dodging a low-flying tour group on jetpacks. The former prison planet has undergone what marketing experts are calling the most successful rebranding in galactic history. Let's take a look at some of the attractions that are drawing thrill-seekers from across 17 galaxies. The camera panned to a massive billboard. Today's activities: 9 a.m. beginners lava surfing, 10:30 a.m. predator racing, bring your own first aid kit, 12 p.m. toxic swamp paintball, 2 p.m. hurricane gliding, 4 p.m. extreme cave diving with bioluminescent monsters, 6 p.m. survival dinner, catch your own meal, 8 p.m. night navigation through carnivorous plant fields, 10 p.m. lightning storm light show. "Bob! Hey, Bob!" the reporter called out to a passing human wearing a staff uniform covered in scorch marks and what appeared to be predator saliva. "G'day," Bob waved, adjusting his senior death-defying activities coordinator name badge. "Sorry, bit busy at the moment. Got a group of Centaurians stuck in a time dilation field. They're experiencing their entire vacation in about 15 minutes. Great for folks on a tight schedule." The camera followed Bob as he jogged past various attractions. A sign reading "Danger, absolutely do not enter" had been modified with a handwritten addition. "Without paying the entrance fee first." "Our marketing department really hit gold with this one," Bob explained, ducking under a low-flying toxic spore cloud. "Turns out, when you tell most species something's impossible or deadly, they immediately want to try it. We're booked solid for the next 5 years. The footage cut to the resort's main welcome center, where a holographic presentation was playing. Australia 2.0 Extreme Packages, Bronze Package, Basic Survival Challenges, Guided Tours, Minimal Chance of Death. Silver Package, Advanced Adventures, Moderate Peril, Complimentary Rescue Beacon. Gold Package, Ultimate Survival Experience, Significant Danger, Premium Life Insurance included. Platinum Package, if you survive, it's free. "But how did this transformation happen?" XILP asked, narrowly avoiding a group of tourists racing past on domesticated predator beasts. "Well," Bob grinned, "we noticed the planet was trying really hard to kill us, so we figured, why fight it? Instead, we marketed it. Nothing sells better than controlled danger with a side of adrenaline." The camera switched to various promotional clips. A Rigelian tourist screaming with joy while surfing down a lava flow. "Best vacation ever. Only lost 2 appendages." A group of silicon-based beings playing volleyball with explosive gas pockets. The constant threat of disintegration really adds to the game. A hive mind collective experiencing their first hurricane. "We are simultaneously terrified and exhilarated. 5 stars. But the real genius," Bob continued, "was our loyalty program. Survive 10 visits, get 1 free. It's been incredibly successful, especially since nobody expected anyone to survive 10 visits." The footage showed the resort's newest attraction, the Impossible Challenge course. Participants had to navigate through every lethal environment the planet offered within 24 hours. The prize? A lifetime pass and a t-shirt reading, "I beat Australia 2.0, and all I got was this t-shirt," and severe trauma. "We've even had to hire the original prison architects as consultants," Bob chuckled. "Poor Captain Blux nearly had a breakdown when we asked him to design even more deadly challenges. Apparently we weren't finding the existing ones difficult enough." The report cut to customer testimonials. "The toxic swamps really brought out my inner survivor." Tourist from Neptune. "My travel agent said it would be the death of me. They were right. Best decision ever. Quantum being from Dimension X." "The predators here are so friendly once you feed them, though finding replacement limbs can be a bit pricey. Unknown species. Too damaged to identify." The camera returned to XILP, now sporting several bandages and a "I survived Australia 2.0 inches" hat. And there you have it, viewers. The galaxy's deadliest prison planet has become its most exclusive resort destination. Remember our sponsor's slogan? Australia 2.0. where every vacation could be your last. A final shot showed the resort's newest billboard, featuring a human grinning while arm wrestling one of the engineered super predators. Australia 2.0, now accepting bookings for weddings, danger-themed, corporate retreats, team building through shared trauma, family vacations, genetic inheritance not guaranteed, extreme sports competitions, medical waivers required, memorial services, convenient on-site location, book now, survival not guaranteed but extremely entertaining. As the report ended, Bob could be heard in the background. "Excuse me, got to run. Someone just discovered a new species of acid-spitting cave dragon. Time to design another tourism package." End transmission. Note: this report was brought to you by Australia 2.0 Resort and Survival Experience. Remember our motto: if everything's trying to kill you, you must be having fun. Galactic Court Proceedings. Case number 47B Alpha. Matter of property rights. Project Impossible. Status: final ruling. Captain Blux's tentacles trembled as he faced the Galactic High Court. His skin had been stuck in a sickly grey shade for weeks, ever since receiving the lawsuit notification. "Let me see if I understand this correctly," Judge Vaux rumbled from their elevated platform. "The humans are claiming ownership rights to the prison planet based on successful colonization?" "Your Honor," the human lawyer stepped forward, wearing what appeared to be a suit made of heat-resistant material with suspicious scorch marks. "My clients have not only survived, but transformed a supposedly uninhabitable planet into a thriving commercial enterprise. Under Galactic Code Section 47, Paragraph 9, any species successfully establishing permanent settlement and economic development on an inhospitable world may claim territorial rights." Blux's legal representative, a nervous quantum entity, flickered anxiously. "But, Your Honor, this is a prison facility." "A prison facility," the human lawyer grinned, "that has recorded 0 fatalities in the past 3 cycles, shows consistent population growth, and generated 17 billion credits in tourism revenue last quarter alone. I present Exhibit A, the profit-sharing agreement Captain Blux himself signed." "I thought it was a suicide note," Blux burst out, his skin turning an embarrassed purple. The courtroom's holographic displays activated, showing footage from Australia 2.0. Thriving cities built into volcano sides, orbital hotels offering premium apocalyptic views, training centers teaching everything from advanced predator psychology to extreme weather surfing. Furthermore, the human lawyer continued, producing more documents, "we've received endorsements from 12 different species certifying the planet as the galaxy's leading adventure tourism destination. The hive mind of Betelgeuse has even requested franchise rights for their sector." Judge Vaux's tentacles curled thoughtfully. "Captain Blux, did you or did you not state in your original proposal that survival on this planet was, and I quote, impossible?" "Well, yes, but... and have the humans not proven this assessment categorically incorrect?" "Technically, but... and did you not specifically design this facility to be self-sustaining with minimal oversight, effectively abandoning direct control?" Blux's skin turned completely transparent. "Your Honor, if you could just—" "The court's decision is final," Judge Vaux announced. "Under galactic law, Australia 2.0 is hereby recognized as sovereign human territory. Furthermore, given the evident success of their management, all similar prison planet projects are to be reviewed for potential recreational development." The human lawyer's grin widened. "We've already drafted proposals for Australia 3.0 through 7.0. Captain Blux's designs are quite inspiring, once you look at them from an entertainment perspective." "This is a nightmare," Blux muttered, watching his career implode in real time. "It has to be a nightmare." "Oh, cheer up, Captain!" The human lawyer slapped him on the back. "We're offering you a position as chief design consultant for our expansion projects. Nobody creates better death traps than you do. We just market them differently." 5 years later. Tourism Quarterly Report. Location: Australia 2.0 Resort Network. Status exceeding all projections. Bob, now promoted to Executive Director of Probably Fatal Activities, stood at the podium during the resort's 5th anniversary celebration. Behind him, the horizon was filled with the usual chaos. Lightning storms, volcanic eruptions, rampaging megafauna, and thousands of delighted tourists. "When we first arrived here," he announced to the gathered crowd, "this was supposed to be our prison. Today it's the galaxy's premier extreme vacation destination, with franchises opening in 7 different sectors. And none of it would have been possible without our guest of honor, the man who tried so hard to kill us that he accidentally created paradise. Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of indeterminate existence, please welcome our chief design consultant, Captain Blux." Blux floated onto the stage, his skin cycling through professional shades of blue. He'd finally learned to embrace the insanity, especially after his first royalty check. "Looking back," he addressed the crowd, "I realize my mistake. I designed the perfect prison planet, assuming any sane species would want to escape. Instead, I accidentally created the perfect human habitat, a place where everything is trying to kill you and you can sell tickets to watch it try." The audience cheered as another lightning storm rolled in, right on schedule. "And now," Bob continued, "we're proud to announce our latest attraction, the Blux Experience. Visitors can attempt to survive every single death trap in the captain's original prison design. Winner gets their own planet to make even deadlier." Somewhere in the crowd, Officer Krill, now Vice President of Catastrophic Entertainment, was already calculating the insurance premiums. As the celebration continued, a small ship landed at the spaceport. Its passengers, a group of prison architects from the Andromeda Galaxy, had come to study Earth's most successful rehabilitation program. They couldn't understand why their own prison planets kept failing. The welcome sign said it all. Australia 2.0, where humanity turned certain death into profitable entertainment. Current statistics: deaths this year 0. Near-death experiences 2,947,583. Customer satisfaction rating 99.9%. Average adrenaline level maximum. TripAdvisor. Rating literally unbelievable. Remember, what doesn't kill you becomes a premium adventure package. And in smaller print, special thanks to Captain Blux, the man who tried to build a prison and accidentally created paradise. P.S. No refunds for acts of nature, supernatural phenomena, or existential crises.